Today, we are taking a deep dive into the story of a Japanese racehorse named Furioso. So I want to get right into the mechanics of how this horse even came to be.
Yeah.
Because he started out as like an accidental local hero.
Yeah, accidental is definitely the word for it.
Right. So Furioso was born in 2004 at Hashimoto Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this elite breeding. His sire, Brian's time, is this legendary stallion known for producing horses with just massive stamina.
Right.
And he's owned by Darley Japan, which is a massive global racing operation.
Mm-hmm.
But then a paperwork glitch literally alters the course of racing history.
It's wild to think about.
Darley didn't yet have their ownership status finalized for the JRA.
Which is a crucial distinction for you to understand if you're listening. Because in Japanese horse racing, you basically have two parallel universes.
Right.
The JRA is the premier central circuit. It's the major leagues. It has the massive stadiums, the international prestige, and, the deepest pockets.
A mostly turf track.
Exactly. Most of the racing there is on meticulously manicured turf. But then you have the NAR, which is the National Association of Racing.
Okay.
This is the local regional circuit. It's almost entirely dirt racing. It's gritty, it's working class, and it is traditionally viewed as the underdog circuit.
So this elite horse is sent to the local NAR circuit, specifically to the Kawashima stable at Funabashi Racecourse. And he starts racing locally, does pretty well. They enter him in the Zen Nippon Nisayushin.
Which is a huge deal.
Yeah. This is a massive race that invites those central JRA powerhouse horses to compete against the locals. And everyone expects the elite JRA runners to just steamroll the field. But Furioso completely sweeps the floor with them. He takes the title.
It instantly branded Furioso as the champion of the local circuit. Suddenly, he is carrying the hopes of Funabashi and the entire regional system on his back.
So naturally, they get ambitious. I mean, when he turns 3, his team decides to cross the tracks, literally.
Right.
They take this incredible local dirt horse and enter him in the JRI Classic Trail on turf. And it is a disaster.
A complete disaster.
He finishes 7th in one race and dead last in the spring stakes.
When he tried to run on turf, his heavy, grinding stride just spun his wheels against horses that were built to basically float over the grass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's why that failure really matters. It provided definitive data. It forced Furioso and his team to unequivocally accept his identity. He wasn't some versatile freak of nature. He was a pure, unadulterated dirt horse.
And once they realize that, they pull the plug on the turf experiment and get him back on the dirt for the local Triple Crown Trail. But, it still takes a minute to find his footing.
Yeah, wasn't instant.
He gets a 3rd-place finish in the Haneda High, a 2nd-place finish in the Tokyo Derby, and then comes the Japan Dirt Derby. He is back facing the absolute best 3-year-old dirt horses from the central JRA circuit, and he just explodes. He wins in a record-setting performance.
Because he was finally in his optimized environment. That win solidified his foundation. He proved that when the surface requires power and endurance, he's a generational talent.
Right.
But dominating horses your own age is only the first test. The real crucible for a racehorse is what happens when you step out of your age bracket and face the older, fully mature veterans.
And as the sources point out, this particular era of older horses was terrifying. But before he faces them, a massive piece of the puzzle falls into place.
A really crucial piece.
Right. So during his 4-year-old season, the reins are handed over to a young jockey from Oi Racecourse named Keita Tsusaki. And this basically becomes his golden partnership. Together, they win the Dialite Kinnan, and then they capture his first major title against older horses, the Teiyosho.
Yeah. Tsusaki understood Furioso's specific cadence. He knew how to let Furioso establish his grinding, front-running rhythm without wasting an ounce of unnecessary energy.
So they hit this absolute peak. They are winning majors. The local hero is officially a national elite. But this is the exact moment the universe decides to test him, because he runs headfirst into what racing fans call the era of monsters.
Oh yeah, the monsters.
First, he has to deal with Vermilion, an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah.
Then Kanye Hikili returns from injury. Then a younger giant named Success Brocken arrives. And Furioso is running his heart out in these grueling middle-distance races, and he just keeps finishing second. So his team tries to find an easier path. They pivot away from the middle distances and drop him down to the mile division.
Yep.
And what happens? He instantly runs into Eswar Shichi, who is a superstar miler with brilliant natural speed.
It's just relentless. The fact that Furioso kept getting passed by these tactical monsters but refused to give up, fighting tooth and nail to hold on to second place, it is psychologically anomalous.
That is wild to think about. He knows he's beaten for the gold, but his pride literally will not let him quit on the silver. And that perfectly sets up the craziest phase of his career. In 2010, he gets another moment in the sun. He wins the Taiyo show again. He is putting on these brilliant, gritty performances, and fans are starting to whisper, has he outlasted the monsters? Is this finally his era?
And that hope is immediately crushed by the arrival of Smart Falcon.
Oh, man. So Furioso faces this new, impossible puzzle in the JBC Classic and the Tokyo Daishoten, and Smart Falcon just overwhelms him. It's another seemingly unbeatable rival dropping from the ceiling.
Yeah.
But Furioso, even at 7 years old, which is practically senior citizenship in flat racing, refuses to disappear. He completely dominates the Kawasaki Kinnin for his 5th top-level win, and then his team decides to take one last swing at the ultimate prize.
A JRA Group 1 title.
Right, at the February Stakes.
The February Stakes featured Japan's newest dominant dirt king, a horse named Transcend, who controlled the pace from the front.
Right, and Furioso, for whatever reason, ends up waiting near the rear of the field this time. They come into the final stretch, and Furioso launches this massive, desperate late charge.
Yeah, he just takes off.
He is passing horses left and right, throwing sand everywhere.
Yeah.
But Transcend had just built too big of a lead. Furioso runs out of track. He finishes second.
Another heartbreaking silver medal on the biggest stage.
But he doesn't let it destroy him. Just months later, he enters the Kashiwa Kinnin. And standing right next to him in the starting gate is Espoir Shichi, the horse who terrorized him in the mile division for years.
The tactical shift here is just beautiful. Furioso didn't try to outsprint Espoir Shichi, he just ground him into the dirt. He used that deep stamina to push the pace until Espoir Shichi finally cracked.
He gets the victory, his 6th major title. To finally turn the tables on a rival that has haunted you for years, especially at that late stage in your career, that had to be one of the most emotional moments of his life.
Oh, without a doubt.
But, as with all athletes, the check comes due. The physical toll of running through deep sand for years catches up to him. He develops leg problems, he misses his autumn campaign.
Yeah, his body just starts to break down.
He makes a really gritty comeback at age 8, but the body just can't execute what the spirit is demanding. He picks up a few more minor placers, but eventually it's time to retire.
Which really forces us to look at the totality of what he accomplished. 39 starts in his career, 11 wins, 6 top-level victories, and a staggering 14 second-place finishes.
So let's talk about those second-place finishes, because 11 of them were at the G1 or JPN1 level. 11 silver medals at the absolute highest peak of the sport.
If you are finishing second at the Group 1 level 11 times across multiple years against multiple generations of horses, you are not lacking instinct.
Right.
You are the unyielding baseline of the sport. Furioso wasn't choking. He was forcing every other horse to run the race of their lives just to beat him. Every one of those silver medals was a war of attrition. He was the gatekeeper.
Wow, the gatekeeper.
Yeah. If you wanted to call yourself a champion in Japan during that era, you had to prove you could break Furioso first, and most horses just couldn't.
That completely flips the perspective. He wasn't the first loser, he was the measuring stick for greatness. And you see that reflected in the records he still holds today.
Oh, absolutely.
He was named the NAR Horse of the Year 4 times, 2007, 2008, 2010, and 2011. He remains the highest-earning local trained horse in history, bringing in over 845 million yen. His sheer refusal to yield against impossible odds on the track translated into this deep, almost reverent respect off the track. He became the ultimate people's champion.
And the local community at Funabashi Racecourse immortalized that respect. In 2013, they created a race in his honor, the Furioso Legend Cup. What's remarkable is that by 2023, the quality of that race had grown so much that it was officially promoted to graded status.
Which, for a local horse, is incredibly rare.
Very rare. He retired and entered stud duty at the Darley Japan Stallion Complex. He consistently had a full book of mares, meaning his schedule was completely booked, often breeding with over 100 mares a season.
The local breeders looked at his 11 silver medals and thought, I want a horse with that exact kind of durability and heart.
Exactly.
He didn't produce delicate, fragile superstars. He produced regional warriors. He even sired a horse named Hikari Oso, who went on to win the Tokyo Derby. He reliably passed down his gritty, hardworking traits to the next generation.
It just proves that while flashes of brilliance might capture the headlines, there's an enduring, massive appreciation for consistency. He was a working-class hero who produced working-class athletes.
And I love that his story ends on such a peaceful note. As he got older, the number of mares he bred with naturally decreased, and at the end of 2024, he officially retired from stud duty entirely.
Yeah.
Today, he's living out his days at Sion Stable. And the best detail in all of our source material, he's being beautifully cared for by the exact same groom who looked after him during his racing career all those years ago.
It's the perfect closing chapter. He gave everything he had to the people who believed in him. He carried the banner for Funabashi, for local racing, and for the sheer concept of endurance. And now, those same people are ensuring he is treated like the king he always was.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.